PM. Marise, thank you very much. Firstly say thank you to Marise. We have had extensive engagement over the course of the last couple of weeks. We'll meet later this week with Indo-Pacific and talk about the region and to talk about what it is we've announced under AUKUS. The whole design of this program has been really about keeping Australia safe and secure in an uncertain world, and as the Prime Minister points out, particularly in the Indo-Pacific, we need to provide that leadership stability, and through the deal that we've announced, I think we've delivered on that. I think many of our neighbours understand the gravity of AUKUS, the way in which that will be a positive force for peace and stability in our region. I want to say thank you very much to President Biden for the way in which he received us today, the conversation which followed on from our conversations with the two secretaries, Blinken and Austin, in Washington, a very productive engagement. And yesterday I was able to go to Connecticut to visit the electric boat company, which since last century has had a very esteemed engagement with the US Defence Force and their production of vessels and submarines, etc. So that starts the 18-month process of discussion with the United States and the United Kingdom. I think it's been very important. It's been an historic trip from our perspective, and the momentum is with us now to make sure that we can do whatever we can to keep our region safe and secure into the future. So I've really appreciated what's been a very productive trip.
Thanks, Peter. Happy to take some questions.
To the President about climate change, you obviously would have discussed that, and was critical minerals and hydrogen discussed during the meeting?
Yeah, well, what I was able to address was the significant progress Australia has made. 20% reduction in emissions in Australia since 2005, which outstrips many of the countries' performance to date, including here, frankly, in the United States, let alone in Canada and New Zealand and so many other countries. Australia has the highest level of rooftop solar anywhere in the world. And our achievements in reducing emissions is an important story for Australia to continue to tell, because it's our record of achievement that actually establishes the integrity of the commitments that we make, that we will meet and beat our 2030 targets. I was able to inform the President today, and that we will continue to work on our plan as to how we can continue to reduce emissions to zero well into the future. As I indicated at the start of this year, it was our intention to do. Because in Australia, it's not enough to have a commitment to something. You've got to have a plan to achieve it. And this is an important part of the way we approach this task. You have a plan to meet your commitment. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a commitment. And so we will continue to work through those issues, and it was a good opportunity to discuss the important elements of that plan today, in particular technology. The hydrogen projects that we're engaged in, which were announced particularly earlier this week, and the important role that hydrogen technology, as well as CCUS, battery technologies and others are going to play, not just in advanced economies, but in developing economies as well. We share a passion that developing economies, particularly in our region, in the Indo-Pacific, will be able to develop their economies with a clean energy future, that they will be able to realise the jobs that advanced economies have, to develop their industrial base on the new energy technologies, and Australia wants to play a critical role in that, and we want to partner with countries to achieve that. This will be an important topic of discussion on Friday, particularly to the point that you've raised. That will be an important discussion point on Friday as part of the Quad. The critical supply chains, rare earths and critical minerals, and how they feed into the many technologies that make up the new energy economy is a big part of Australia's opportunity in the future. That has important opportunities for our resources sector. Lithium, yes, of course, but so many other rare earths and minerals that make up the future supply chains. So we see ourselves being a supplier of energy to the region in new energy technologies, and we see ourselves as an important player in providing the rare earths and critical minerals that are essential to the supply chains of the new energy economy.